The news is ramping up when it comes to 2K25. Today, 2K25 just dropped the newest trailer showcasing, no pun intended, the Bloodline Dynasty in Showcase. A mode that I was looking forward to for the longest time. And when I say long time, I'm a Showcase mode fan. So I like unlocking all the things. I like seeing all the legends, stuff like that. So we got a trailer. It's showcasing a lot of things in here. And now they got a ringside report giving us a complete breakdown of what the showcase is going to be, who's going to be involved in the showcase, what arenas we're going to get, and what surprises that we may not know will still be in the showcase mode. So if you guys are ready for showcase mode, if you guys are ready to hear me break this thing down, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button and notification button when I do put up 2K content right here all throughout the 2K cycle, because man, let me tell you something, I'm all excited about this news. So let's get right on into the Bloodline Dynasty for showcase, this ringside report. Bloodline's Dynasty, this is a 2K ringside report. Okay, we got Roman's Grace to cover, stuff like that. So there are going to be new things here. We also got, it says, it's a great privilege for all involved to pay tribute to the Anoa'i Dynasty in this first of its kind documentary style look at the legendary family hosted by the wise man Paul Heyman, which I think is a great touch. Heyman will provide historical context for each featured member of the Anoa'i family and Maivia families leading into their showcase matches. Players also hear from superstars like Roman Reigns, Sikoa, who will break down their respective matches and give personal insight for other Dynasty members. But before we get into the showcase match, let's dive deeper into the other changes and updates that we got this year. So it says right here, presentation and gameplay. One of the two new things that we're going to get for this year's showcase is this year full cutscenes make their return, keeping you immersed in the game at all times. So that means no more slingshot tech. Full entries are now included, and commentary is now featured during each match. It also replaces music as part of the presentation. Thank you. So now we got a screenshot of Hunter Hearst Helmsley. So he was in 2K23 when they had him. We got unlocked through My Rise, but now he's going to be part of the showcase. Great to see an old school Triple H in there, and because when they said Rocky Maivia also, which they didn't announce Rocky Maivia until the end of the roster reveal, but it's a nice screenshot. One thing I love about it is the classic Raw Arena, 1997 Raw Arena. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be great. As noted, like you said before, players will be presented with different objectives throughout the match. If completed, will allow players to earn each available unlockable reward. The usual stuff that they have with it. One new wrinkle to this objective system is that we have added time objectives to each match, adding an extra challenge to the mix while keeping the action moving. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Now they got the match list here. So they were saying they were putting together the showcase, and they got from Wild Samoans, High Chief P and Maivia, and all that great stuff. And it says, a part of the showcase, the Blood Dynasty, we have divided the matches into 3 categories: relive history, change history, and create history. So it says, now let's go over and see what it says here. So the relive history allows fans to retrace the steps that legendary superstars took on their path to victory. Change history will give fans the opportunity to avoid what was a heartbreaking loss and instead turn into a victory for various members of the Bloodline family. And create history place you in dream matches that will see eras clash in the center of the ring. Automatically, that's a W. I like that creativity to it. Now let's get to the match list. Relive history. We got Yokozuna with Mr. Fuji taking on Hulk Hogan, King of the Ring 93. We saw that in an earlier build, the trailer. Rocky Maivia versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Thursday, Raw Thursday on February 13, 1997. Wow, that's close to the date here. The Usos versus the New Day with Big E. Okay. That's what Big E was in that match with Xavier Woods. Hell in a Cell 17, that was a great match. Sikoa versus Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams, NXT 2.0, 9/13/22, which I think gives an excuse for us to get the 2.0 arena, even though we don't need an excuse for that. Solo for, because I think this is when he won the North American Championship, to be honest with you. Then Nia Jax taking on Lyra Valkyria, Queen of the Ring 24. And they also have a nice screenshot of Lyra Valkyria also, which is just looking great with the crow wings and everything. Now let's go into the change history. We got the change. The matches are the Head Shrinkers versus the Steiner Brothers, WrestleMania 9. So we do get that WrestleMania 9 arena. Rikishi versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, No Mercy 2000. I didn't even think they was going to do that. I at most thought they was going to do Armageddon, Hell in a Cell, with Rikishi in there, but once again, Kurt ain't gonna win that one. And Rikishi wasn't even much of the storyline by that point. So Rikishi versus Stone Cold, that makes more sense. Bad man. Umaga with Alejandro Estrada versus John Cena, New Year's Revolution 2007. This caught me left field for real. Tamina versus Natalya versus Carmella versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, Money in the Bank 17. I'm thinking this is the one. Was this the one that Carmella won? When she was the first women's Money in the Bank winner? I'm not sure. I was about to say Tamina ain't win none of these matches, but it's changed history, so that makes sense for that Tamina win the matchup. Then you have Naomi versus Bayley, Super Showdown 20. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, Royal Rumble 2022. That's one of the ones that they showed. And then you get the more intense screenshot with Umaga. This is an older Umaga, because the one that we got already got the Samoa tattoo on. This one he had less tattoos when he first came back, and with Alejandro Estrada, I like that duo. Then we got Create History. So we have High Chief Peter Maivia versus George Animal Steel. 3-Minute Warning versus AOP with Paul Ellering. I like that one. The Wild Samoans versus the Dudley Boys. That was at the tables match. The OG Bloodline versus Solo's Bloodline War Games. We actually did get that matchup. And then the Islanders versus the Street Profits. The Street Profits is kind of a weird choice though, but that's the change history. And then we get a screenshot of High GP and Maivia for first time making it in a 2K game, to my understanding. So that is great right there. And then also we the unlockable contest, players progress through each match and complete objectives. Over 70 rewards will be unlockable and fall into one of these categories: legends, alternate tires for WWE superstars, managers, championships, arenas, faction, my faction cards. Along with that, we get another screenshot. This is of the Islanders with Haku and Tonga Kid with Bobby the Brain Heenan. So that's a great looking screenshot also. Now that is all. It also gives little tease saying we won't spoil each unlockable, but there are plenty to earn throughout the mode, and we'll let fans discover them themselves. Okay, and stay tuned for more for My Rise, My GM Universe, and stuff like that. Everything looks cool. I have one issue. Where the hell is Soul Man Rocky Johnson? You cannot talk about the Bloodline in its entirety without talking about Soul Man Rocky Johnson. I was like, okay, when they didn't reveal him in the roster reveal, I was like, okay, maybe, because I was like, how is he not going to be part of the showcase? How do we not have Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson taking on the Wild Samoans? Hell, if they couldn't get if they could not get Tony Atlas to sign a Legends deal, which he is all over WWE in the first place, how can we not have that match? So they got these categories. So why not do a match between Rocky Johnson and his dad? Like Rocky Johnson versus The Rock. How do we not have this? I was about to say, listen, since Naomi's in there, I'm about to say, okay, I was about to start wondering. But neither here, I'm just like, okay, most likely, before everybody try to get up in the comments and try to destroy me, most likely, I'm hoping that they save Rocky Johnson for DLC. Because how can we talk about the Bloodline and we don't talk about The Rock's dad in this thing? Alright, a big part. You got his grandfather, you got his daddy in there. Come on now. They got him in Supercard, so you can put him in the game. I'm like, yo, I'm really forcing, because once again, Solo Rocky Johnson can be a selling point and you can put him as DLC, but I really think that he should have been part of the showcase, to be honest with you. But if he's DLC, I'm cool with it. But that's the showcase. It looks like we got about 15 matches, 5 on each category, it looks like. So, yeah, it's a little bit shorter than I would want it to be, because I like those long showcase modes like from 2K15 or the one from last year with 21 matches. I like that. And with the Bloodline and everything that everybody's involved in it, you can have so many matches, you know what I'm saying? But I want to see how this works. I like the different creativities with it. But how do you guys feel about it? Post your comments down below. And how you guys feel about Rocky Johnson? Post your comments down below about that too. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my breakdown. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE 2K25 news and breakdowns right here on NC Studios. Once again, it's NC the place to be. Mr. A&D, and the Nerd Coalition is out.